Rich Paul is LeBron James' agent. Rich Paul was the guy who LeBron met, I think, selling jerseys out of the back of his car, right? So he's part of, started from the bottom. Now we're here. And he had this statement to ESPN. LeBron wants to compete for a championship, Paul told ESPN. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance at winning it all. We're very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeanie and Rob Pelinka and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage of his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that and are supportive of what's best for him. I will tell you how that lands with me. One word, poorly. Poorly. And there are lots of different ways to explain why it lands poorly, but here's the easiest. You have to match up your actions with your words. If LeBron wants to win a championship, well then, why would you opt into a deal that pays you $53 million? Because here's how it really works. If you want to win, you got to take less so that you can pay more to go out and get guys on the free agent market. And if you want to guarantee yourself a big fat paycheck, what you can do is you can backload a contract, do it as a player-only option, and you play a year with the Lakers. And, oh yeah, by the way, if it doesn't work out, you want to retire, you have them buy their way out of an opt-out or whatever, or you go somewhere next year. There's a million different things you can do. But you can say you're appreciative of Jeanie and Rob Pelinka. Your actions are far different. Because if you're really appreciative, why would you release a statement? If you really want to win a championship, why'd you release a statement? How it lands on me is poorly because it feels like the Lakers, and LeBron has talked about it, and he always couches it with I understand. Now we're building around Luka. This is LeBron James and Rich Paul pouting and trying to exert some sort of leverage that doesn't actually exist. This is no different than LeBron when he was leaving Cleveland the second time, leaking out there that could be interested in the San Antonio Spurs, who had no interest in LeBron James. Because you can say, hey, we're really appreciative, but the reality is, are you? Right? Are you? Let me make this clear. Over the past year, just the past year alone, we'll make it 13 months a year. Is that okay? Over the past year, the Lakers have hired a guy he co-hosted a podcast with as the head coach of the Lakers. And look, I get it. I'm not that different from the J.J. Redick hire. Right? But it's the head coach of the Lakers, and they hired him. Okay. They also drafted Bronny James, and then all made statements like Bronny had earned the right to be a second-round pick when that's not even close to accurate. Then they played Bronny the first game of the season. And throughout times in the NBA season, while giving him a guaranteed 4-year contract, despite the fact he was the 55th pick in the NBA draft. So the worst thing they did, and then if you predate that, they went out and got Anthony Davis. They overpaid for Anthony Davis. Why? He was a Rich Paul client. And when they struck out the first time around, they went back in the offseason and went after him and got him. Overpaid for him. Remember, they got Russell Westbrook on the LA Lakers. Why? They were going to get DeMar DeRozan. That was the guy. Well documented. DeMar DeRozan was going to be the third guy. But what happened was LeBron was like, nah, we like Russell Westbrook better. They overpaid for Russell Westbrook. And then midway through his first year with the Lakers, LeBron just did what LeBron does, where he doesn't say anything negative, but he just ignores, passive-aggressive, moves on, and ultimately they moved off Russell Westbrook. So we overpaid for Anthony Davis. We we trade for Russell Westbrook. We hire J.J. Redick. We draft and play Bronny James. All of these things would not have happened if not for LeBron wanting them to happen. There's a million other things. And you have $53 and change million on a contract, and you say you want to win, and the only thing you say after having the opportunity to opt out of that, rework your deal, have more money for the Lakers to play with is, that's great, but we're going to keep our options open. That sounds like the least, no matter, you can say you're grateful, but it's words, not, it's actions, not words. And what you have done and what the Lakers have done for you is support you in the best way possible. Remember, of LeBron's seasons with the Lakers, how many of them have ended in injury? How many seasons? How many games has he played in the regular season? You remember when he started playing a ton of games in the regular season, that was the year he was going for the all-time scoring mark. And so if you ask LeBron about it, he's the most selfish, unselfish guy there is. Yeah, he likes to pass the ball, but he likes to pass the ball because he wants you to score and get the assist. And he wants it to be about LeBron. His agent tries to make this about leverage that they don't have. Like, look, if you really want to challenge the Lakers to going out and making a championship team, LeBron's going to opt out. He's going to see what the Lakers do. He's willing to take less money if their plan makes sense. That's not what he says. He says, we're going to take your money, and then we're going to think about what we want to do in the future. And what this does is it sours so many people on LeBron James when, as I've stated previously, in comparison to other star athletes, right? No off-the-court nonsense. None. Zero. But there is a transactional nature to how he approaches playing for a team. And I've told you guys since he got to L.A. and throughout this process, you can play, he's going to play 8 years in L.A. Right? LeBron James plays for the Lakers, is not a Laker. Because what Laker fans want, and what Laker fans desire is LeBron James wants to do one thing before he calls it a career. Win another championship with the Lakers. And what he said is, I want to win a championship. I don't think we can do it with the Lakers. So why are we paying you $53 million, bud? Oh, yeah, by the way, if you don't think Luka's good enough, then how did Luka get to the finals without you? The whole thing is a massive contradiction and a statement of being ungrateful. And there's lots of things that turn people off and things that turn people on. The number one thing that turns me off in my lifetime is people who are not grateful. People who are not appreciative. There are no perfect human beings. Either we see the positive things that people bring or we harp on the negative things. And if you're appreciative of the positive, it doesn't mean that the negatives don't exist, but at least it gives respect for somebody working through whatever they're working through while giving you the best that they have. I just, for a guy that has done so many of the right things, this statement is so about the wrong things. To me.